one of the things that is not obvious, and yet it's such a profound bridge to intimacy, is communication. And you think, intimacy, communication? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not, how does it relate? But it's actually through communication that we create a depth of intimacy. And let me try and unpack that for you. So if I'm with someone and they're constantly talking over me and they're not listening and they're not asking, or if they're asking something, they're not listening, like there's a level of closeness that happens. Like I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard, and therefore I'm not as open to the connection because the person is open and yet there's no space for me to open up. And there could be a level of intimacy from the other person's side, but there wouldn't be an intimacy from my side necessarily. And I'm talking about deep intimacy, not a surface level intimacy where you just get aroused and you just want to fuck. The kind of intimacy that is beyond the physical and comes with the physical as well. And so other way around, if I'm in a conversation with someone who's very attentive, who's listening, who's trying to understand, who's asking questions, and there's a reciprocity, there's a flow of communication because two people know how to communicate. They know that you can ask and then you listen and then you don't interrupt and then you listen truly by being present. There's a different level of intimacy that happens, and that intimacy is also, it doesn't have to be between a man and a woman, it can be between anyone. I'm sure you have met people where you were just like, fuck, it seems like I've known them for years because it's so easy to be with them, it's so easy to interact with them, and it's because they have mastery in communication and how they listen and how they communicate. And so there's depth of connection that happens. And that depth of connection, beyond even the physical, is powerful. And layer in the sexual attraction. Now you're getting fireworks. Someone hears you, someone understands you, someone is curious about you, someone doesn't interrupt and really knows how to hold space for you and listen. And there's a flow of communication and there's a sexual attraction, boom. But I guess at the most basic level, why human beings are struggling to really connect on a deeper level is because they don't know how to communicate. And, there's layers to that as well. Communication is a multifaceted thing. But I think if I was to distill it down to the most profound and impactful way, is listening. It's actually talking less and listening more. And there's a saying, there's a reason you have been given one mouth and two ears. So at the most profound and basic level, if you want to connect deeper with anyone and everyone, start listening more and speaking less. Start asking more and listening more. It will change your life. It will change your life in ways that you didn't know was possible. And I think that's one of the biggest flaws in our society. People just don't fucking know how to listen. They just talk because everyone is so deprived of connection, and they think it's if you talk, then you're gonna get connected, you're gonna get recognized, But the truth is, it's in this deep presence, in the listening, that the true depth and connection arises. And then on the other side, actually, what happens sometimes to me, the shadow side, I listened so deeply, or okay, maybe it was more at the beginning when I didn't know how to like leverage the skill. I would listen so deeply and so intensely that the person would get fucking lost, and they would be like, you know, just pouring and pouring and pouring. And it would be like probably one of their most profound experiences where for the first time in their life, no one speaks over them. Someone is curious, someone is listening and really seeing them. And and I had some days where I'm like, wow, wow, it was very one-sided. And I reflected, I was like, why was that so? And I realized that I actually didn't have the capacity to be like, to, you know, the other person didn't, how do I articulate this? So it's almost like when you give a kid's candy, like they will eat until, you know, they cannot. And that's the experience for the first time when you meet someone and like you have that opportunity to express, you will express until, you know, you cannot. And so for me, the lesson was like, okay, so people can get lost. So I need to also hold the firmness of like interaction and not only over listen, but also, you know, maybe not ask as much. I would ask too much, you know, I'd be too curious. And then maybe I need to pause and step back and let them ask, you know, as opposed to just keep feeding that loop of them sharing. So there's different ways and expressions that I guess different dynamics to navigate. But as I said, the most important one is to listen and less talking. So I hope this served some purpose. I hope it opened something for you. And if so, let me know. I would love to hear, and I'll see you soon. Bye.